Let us continue solid state imperfections in solids. In the imperfections in solids, we considered example is what means ferrous oxide. So ferrous oxide, we are taking ferrous oxide. This ferrous oxide formula is what means Fe 0.93 is to O1. Sir, we are saying that ferrous is unstable, therefore ferrous is converting into ferric. Ferrous is unstable, so ferrous is converting into ferric. That means ferrous is undergoing oxidation. Here you see the proportion of iron with oxygen. Proportion of iron is less when compared to oxygen. That means some iron has escaped from this crystal or what? Proportion of iron is less when compared to oxygen. That means from this crystal some iron has escaped. From this crystal some iron has escaped. Iron has escaped in the sense, will it escape as ion or will it escape as atom? Here we are saying some ion is escaped from this crystal. That means that is detaching from the crystal. That is detaching from the crystal means that is not having attraction in the crystal. That is not having attraction in the crystal means that escaped ion is not having attraction with the oxygen. When it will not have attraction? This is oxide. This will attract Fe2 plus. This will attract Fe3 plus. It is not attracting means that is what? See, in this ferrous oxide crystal, we are saying ferrous is unstable, so it is converting into ferric. So it is oxidation, okay. And another thing is reduction is there. Oxidation taking place means reduction should take place. Oxidation alone will not take place. Sir, now in this proportion, if you see iron proportion is less when compared to oxygen. Iron proportion is less means some iron is missing from here. The iron which is missed, why? Because that is not having attraction with the oxygen. That's why it is missed. That's why it is escaped. If it is attraction is there, why it will escape? Now you take Fe2 plus and oxygen. Oxide Fe2 plus attraction is there. Fe3 plus oxide attraction is there. So iron is escaping from this crystal means that should not have attraction with oxide. Therefore, that ion, will it be Fe2 plus or will it be Fe3 plus or will it be Fe or what? Or what? That escaped one is what? Escaped one is what? Escaped one means detached from the crystal, came out from the crystal. So one which detached from the crystal, that is what you are saying means that is Fe. Experiment says that Fe. So that means here in this ferrous oxide, this Fe2 plus is converting into what means Fe. That means here reduction is there. So in this crystal, in this ferrous oxide crystal, which process and all have taken place? In this ferrous oxide crystal, practically available ferrous oxide is having like this ratio. This is because of what? Practically available ferrous oxide is having this ratio. That means iron is deficient when compared to oxygen. Iron proportion is less when compared to oxygen. This is because of like this oxidation and like this reduction. Like this oxidation and reduction. So in ferrous oxide crystal, what happens means oxidation is possible as well as reduction is possible. To what extent means to what extent it is deficient to that extent. This iron is deficient when compared to oxygen. To what extent deficient? To that extent, oxidation and reduction taking place. Sir, so that means in ferrous oxide, what is there means redox reaction takes place. What redox reaction? Is it disproportionation? In ferrous oxide crystal, we are saying redox reaction. Redox reaction means oxidation and reduction. So in the redox reaction, one type is called disproportionation. One type is called disproportionation. What is the disproportionation? Same substance undergoes reduction as well as oxidation. What is the example for disproportionation means? For example, we will take hydrogen peroxide that on decomposition gives water and oxygen. Here in hydrogen peroxide, structure of hydrogen peroxide is so and so. Now, what is the oxidation numbers? That we will see. Oxidation number of this oxygen is -1. This oxygen is -1. This -1 is converting into -2 reduction. This -1 is converting into 0 oxidation. So in the hydrogen peroxide, you see oxygen -1 is converting into -2 reduction. Oxygen -1 is converting into 0 oxidation. So this is what reaction means, disproportionation reaction. That means same substance should undergo reduction as well as oxidation. Then that is called a disproportionation, which is a type of redox reaction. So now you say that in the ferrous oxide crystal, the deficiency, iron is deficient, isn't it, when compared to oxygen proportion? The deficiency is due to just we have to say redox reaction, or shall we say particularly disproportionation reaction. For that case, you see that in this ferrous oxide, ferrous is undergoing oxidation and some ferrous is undergoing reduction. Some ferrous undergoes oxidation, some ferrous undergoes reduction. So ferrous only undergoing oxidation as well as reduction, no? So we can call what reaction means disproportionation we can call. Sir. So in the ferrous oxide redox reaction possible. What redox reaction means? Disproportionation is a redox reaction that is possible in the ferrous oxide. Sir. Now first we will take ideal crystal. We will take in the ideal crystal formula we have written. This crystal, how it will be there, we will see. This crystal will write Fe2 plus simultaneously followed by oxide. Fe2 plus will be followed by oxide in the ferrous oxide crystal. So ferrous oxide crystal will write oxide ferrous, like this will write. So ferrous is followed by what means Fe2 plus is followed by what means oxide. Ferrous is followed by what means oxide, we can say. Ferrous is followed by what means oxide, we can say. It is ferrous oxide crystal. It is ideal crystal. So now in this ideal crystal, what is happening? We said practically what is happening? Some of the ferrous is converting into iron. So here what is happening means one process is what means Fe2 plus is converting into Fe by taking 2 electrons. This is one possibility. Fe2 plus is converting into Fe, we are saying. Suppose this Fe2 plus is converting into Fe, we can take. Otherwise, some other also we can mention. Whatever we want, we will take. So now we will take this Fe2 plus is converting into Fe, we will take. Rest of the oxides we will write it. We will write rest of the places oxide we will write. So oxide we have written. Now Fe2 plus has converted into what means Fe. Fe2 plus has converted into what means Fe. Okay. When Fe2 plus is converted into Fe, reduction, oxidation should be possible. Some other Fe2 plus should convert into Fe3 plus by losing electron. Here 2 electrons, so make it as 2 electrons, so multiply this by 2. Here 2 electrons, so we have to make this as 2, so multiply this with 2. So when one Fe2 plus is converting into Fe, other 2 Fe2 plus should convert into Fe3 plus. Which Fe2 plus in the sense, for example, we will take this Fe2 plus and this Fe2 plus converting into Fe3 plus, we will write Rest we will write as it is. Rest of the things we will write as it is. Sir, rest of the things we will write as it is. So here Fe2 plus, here oxide, Fe2 plus, oxide, Fe2 plus. So here we will write oxide. Here we have written oxide. Here we will write oxide. Here ferrous. Here oxide. Here we will write oxide. Here we will write ferrous. Okay. So now we will write this ferrous. We will write it as ferric. Then this ferrous we will write it as ferric. Sir. Now we can say that this ferrous is attracting this oxide. This ferric is attracting this oxide. But this iron, will it attract this oxide? This iron, will it attract this oxide? This iron, will it attract this oxide? This iron will not attract this oxide. Since it is not having surrounding attraction, since this iron is not having surrounding attraction, what it will do means it will go out from the crystal. So it went out from the crystal. So what went out from the crystal in the sense iron has gone out from the crystal. Therefore, this is what means vacant. This is vacant. Here, what was there? Fe was there. Iron was there. Iron atom was there. That iron atom escaped from this crystal. That iron atom came out from the crystal since it is not getting attraction from the neighbor. Because neighbors are ions. It is iron atom. No attraction, so it came out from the crystal. So it went out. Sir, now we will take this crystal. We will take this crystal is having this crystal. We will come. This crystal we took. In this crystal, vacant plate is there. So hole is present. This hole carries current. Therefore, this crystal comes under P-type semiconductor. In this crystal, hole is there. This hole carries current. Therefore, it is called a P-type semiconductor. Understand that P means positive, positive means hole. N means negative, negative means electron. If free electron carries current, N-type semiconductor we have to say. If hole carries current, we have to say P-type semiconductor we have to say. Sir, it is P-type semiconductor. What about electrical neutrality of this and this? Electrical neutrality is there or not? That means here Fe2 plus O2 minus. Two Fe3 plus ions are there. That means plus 2 charge is excess. For that case, one Fe2 plus has converted into Fe, no? So, shall we say total positive charge and total negative charge in this crystal equal? Then shall we say it is electrically neutral? Okay. Now, this crystal comes under stoichiometric crystal or non-stoichiometric crystal, that we will see. Now we will see number of iron and number of oxygens. We will check it. Number of iron and number of oxygens we will count. Number of iron and number of oxygen, if we count here, from here one iron has escaped. That means number of iron is less only, no? So number of iron is less. Oxide, the oxygen is 1. Okay, this oxide is 1. Number of Fe2 plus is less than 1. Number of Fe2 plus is less than 1. Oxide is 1, but number of Fe2 plus is less than 1 because one ion has escaped from this crystal. One ion detached from the crystal. So metal ion is less. Metal ion is less. So ideal crystal is having, what is the formula? 1:1. Ideal crystal is having 1:1 formula, but here it is not having 1:1 formula. So this crystal formula is not like ideal. Therefore, it is a non-stoichiometric crystal. This crystal is having defect. Therefore, it is coming under non-stoichiometric defect. This crystal is coming under non-stoichiometric defect. In this defect, which is less means metal ion is deficient. Metal ion proportion is less when compared to anion. Therefore, it is called a metal deficiency defect. It is coming under what? Metal deficiency defect, we can say. So this metal deficiency defect, it is a type of non-stoichiometric defect. It is a type of what means non-stoichiometric defect. This we have to say as a non-stoichiometric defect, we can say. So in this, what is the proportion of ions? In this, what is the proportion of ions that we will see? What is the proportion of ions that we will see? Now we will consider. Now we will consider oxides. We will consider in this one oxides. We will consider how many oxide ions present. We will count in this one. Okay, and that means for understanding we are counting. Okay, so here 1, here 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 oxide ions are there. Then we will count Fe3 plus ions. Fe3 plus ions, how many means 2. Actually, in the crystal, we cannot count like this. For understanding, we are doing like this. Sir, Fe2 plus we will count. Fe2 plus 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4, 5. So 5. 5 plus 2, 7. 1 is escaped, therefore 8. So now how the ion is there means Fe2 plus and Fe3 plus like this present. Oxide is present like this. Now we will see net charge. Net charge we will see this 5 into 2 plus 10, 2 into 3 plus 6. Therefore, positive charge is 16. 8 into 2, this minus 16. So net charge is 0. Net charge is 0. Charge is balanced. We can say charge is balanced. We can say. So here how the charge is there means charge is balanced. Therefore, we can say it is electrically neutral. We can say. Now, what is the formula? What is the formula of this? What is the formula of this means we can say Fe 7 times means oxygen 8 times as per this. Actually, it is not the formula. So simple ratio if we see Fe is O is 1 time means Fe is 1 minus X times. Because see oxygen 8 times means Fe is 7 as per this counting. Actually, it is not correct. So oxygen is 1 time means Fe is less than 1. Fe is less than 1. Sir, Fe is less than 1 we are saying. Okay, what experimental analysis says that means Fe is 0.93 means O is 1. It is one example. It is one example. What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this means in this 0.93 times Fe, what is there means Fe2 plus is there as well as Fe3 plus is there. 0.93 times Fe means 0.93 is nothing but including Fe2 plus and Fe3 plus. If you take Fe2 plus is X, then Fe3 plus is 0.93 minus X. Then this oxide will write. Oxide will write. Now total positive charge and total negative charge will be equal because it is electrically neutral. Now the practical analysis says that experimental analysis says that this ion exists from where to where means it is coming under this ratio and oxygen is like this. So practically available ferrous oxide is existing like this. Ion is 0.93 to 0.96, oxygen is 1. So this crystal is coming under non-stoichiometric defects, metal deficiency defect. Why metal deficiency defect means ion is undergoing disproportionation. Ion is undergoing disproportionation. So like this metal deficiency defect is possible in which cases, in the sense most of the metal oxides coming under this category. In which case metal ions are having variable oxidation states, they are coming under this category. So that in this case we can say nickel oxide, we can say nickel oxide coming under this category, copper oxide coming under this copper oxide means cuprous oxide coming under this category. So in metal deficiency defect, FeO is example, NiO is example, Ce2O is example. Okay, so this is about what means imperfections in solids. So this is about imperfections in solids, defects in solids. So conclusion is, in defects in solids, in imperfections in solids, two types. One is point defects, another one is crystal defects. In point defects, two types: stoichiometric defects and non-stoichiometric defects. In the stoichiometric defects, we will say Schottky defect and Frenkel defect. In the non-stoichiometric defect, metal excess defect and metal deficiency defect. In the metal excess defect, two types. One is due to anion vacancy, another one is excess cation occupying interstitial site. Another one is called impurity defect. Another one is called impurity defect. So these are the These are what means defects in solids, imperfections in solids. Sir, if you do not want defect, if you do not want imperfection, then how the crystal should be there means crystal should be 100% pure, impurity should not be there at all, and the temperature should be 0 Kelvin. If temperature is 0 Kelvin and 100% pure, then perfect arrangement is possible, then that crystal is a ideal crystal. Otherwise, if anything deviation is there means then the crystal will have imperfection. Now 0 Kelvin in the sense practically that is not possible. No substance is taken to 0 Kelvin so far. So no substance is taken for 0 Kelvin in the sense practically 0 Kelvin is not possible. Then how can we say that so and so crystal is not having imperfection? So all the crystals are having imperfections. All the crystals are having defects. Sorry. In the solid state, we will go for next topic. The next topic is what means magnetism. The next topic is magnetism. In the magnetism, in the sense, we will take magnet. In the magnet, in the sense, magnetic poles, magnetic field, these and all will say. In the magnetism, we will classify the substances into what called means paramagnetic substance. What is called paramagnetic substance? What do you say about paramagnetic substance? Paramagnetic substance, will it attract magnet or not? It will attract magnetic field. Paramagnetic substance is having magnetic nature. It is having magnetic moment. How to find magnetic moment? Magnetic moment is equal to square root of n into n plus 2 Bohr magneton. Bohr magneton. What is n? N is called number of unpaired electrons. N is called number of unpaired electrons. So if unpaired electrons are present, then magnetic moment will be there. Magnetic moment is there means then that substance is called paramagnetic. If unpaired electrons not present, then magnetic moment will not be present. Then that is called a diamagnetic substance. Diamagnetic substance we will call. So in this one, further we can say what are the things means ferromagnetic substances. Then we will say antiferromagnetic substances. Then we will say ferrimagnetic substances. So in the magnetism, generally we know that paramagnetic substances and diamagnetic substances, generally we know. Further what means ferromagnetic substances, antiferromagnetic substances, ferrimagnetic substances. How these substances will behave? In these substances, a special word is introduced. What is that means? That word is called domain. What is this domain? Domain is called a group of metal ions. Domain is called a group of metal ions. A group of metal ions. Now, the domain in the sense group of metal ions we are saying means we are taking metal ions means are they ionic compounds? Are they coming under ionic compounds? Or what is the example for these? Because we are saying metal ions, no? We are saying metal ions, we are considering, then these substances, are they coming under ionic compounds? Sir, we will see the example for that. For ferromagnetic substances, what is the example in the sense? Example is iron, cobalt, nickel, gadolinium. Gadolinium is formula is Gd. Gadolinium formula is Gd. Then CrO2, chromium dioxide. Then antiferromagnetism example is what means MnO. Antiferromagnetism example is MnO. Then ferrimagnetism example is Fe3O4. Fe3O4. Then MgFe2O4. MgFe2O4. Then ZnFe2O4. ZnFe2O4. Then now Fe3O4 means what? Fe3O4 means what? What oxide it is? Is it ferrous oxide or ferric oxide? What shall we say? Fe3O4. Now that we will see. Now Fe3O4 is called what? Fe3O4 contains what means FeO and Fe2O3. Fe3O4 contains FeO and Fe2O3. FeO is called ferrous oxide. Fe2O3 is called what means ferric oxide. What is Fe3O4 means? It is called ferrous-ferric oxide. That means, is it not simple oxide? This is simple oxide. FeO is called simple oxide. Fe2O3 is called simple oxide because it contains only Fe3 plus. It is simple oxide because it contains only Fe2 plus. But it is not simple oxide. This contains ferrous oxide and ferric oxide. Therefore, it is called what means mixed oxide. Mixed oxide. This Fe3O4 is mixed oxide. It is an example for what means this ferrimagnetism. Like this, what is this MgFe2O4? This MgFe2O4 is what? MgFe2O4 is what means that is so and so. MgFe2O4 is what means MgO and Fe2O3. Like this, ZnFe2O4 is what means ZnO and Fe2O3. ZnO and Fe2O3. Sir. So, if you see these three substances, ferromagnetism, antiferromagnetism, ferrimagnetism, if you see, compounds are example as well as metals also example. So, compounds means we can say metal ions. Compounds means from this we can say metal ions, we can say. Then if it is metal, how do we say metal ions? So, iron is ferromagnetism, cobalt is ferromagnetism. Then how do we use metal ions word? Because in metals also, metals we explained in terms of metallic bonding. In metallic bonding, what we said, kernels are surrounded by free electron cloud, delocalized electron cloud. Kernels are nothing but metal ions only, no. Therefore, we can use metal ions word we can use. So, for explaining this ferromagnetism, antiferromagnetism and ferrimagnetism, we are using the word called domain. Domain in the sense a group of metal ions. A group of metal ions is called a domain, we are saying. Sir. Now we are considering domain word. This domain is having magnetic moment. This domain is having magnetic moment. This domain is having magnetic moment. This domain is what? It is nothing but a group of metal ions. That's all. This domain is having magnetic moment. How the domains will be there means domains will be arranged in a irregular order for whatever the substance, whether it is ferromagnetism, antiferromagnetism, ferrimagnetism, domains will be arranged in a irregular order. Domains will be arranged in irregular order. Suppose for one domain magnetic moment is like this. For another domain, how the magnetic moment will be there means another domain magnetic moment will be like this. For another domain, how the magnetic moment will be there means like this. For another domain, how the magnetic moment will be there means that is like this. So, in this way, domains will be arranged in the ferromagnetic, antiferromagnetic, ferrimagnetic substances. So, how the domains arranged that we got an idea. So, in the ferromagnetic substance, antiferromagnetic substance, and in ferrimagnetic substance, domains arranged in a irregular order. So, now we will take a ferromagnetic substance. Ferromagnetic substance, here domains arranged in irregular order. Then we will see net magnetic moment. Net magnetic moment, how much will be there? Why we have to say net magnetic moment? Because suppose one magnetic moment is like this, another magnetic moment like this, then net magnetic moment, what means this will cancel with this. So that only we are using net magnetic moment because domains are arranged irregularly. Okay. So in ferromagnetic substance, how the net magnetic moment will be there means it has some value. It has some value. Net magnetic moment has some value. In the antiferromagnetic substances, how the net magnetic moment is there means that is 0. In the antiferromagnetic substances, net magnetic moment is how much means 0. In the ferrimagnetic substances, net magnetic moment has some value. But how the magnitude is there means here magnitude is high, here magnitude is less. So in the ferromagnetic substance, net magnetic moment has some value. In the antiferromagnetic moment, in the antiferromagnetism, net magnetic moment is 0. In the ferrimagnetism, net magnetic moment has some value. This value is high, whereas this value is low. So now we will take antiferromagnetism. In antiferromagnetism, net magnetic moment is zero, means how the alignment of domains should be there. So how the alignment means, suppose one domain is like this, means certainly another domain should be like this. Then only net magnetic moment will be zero. In antiferromagnetism, how the alignment of domains should be there, means the domains are aligned such that net magnetic moment should be zero. Like this we have tried. So one domain is like this, means certainly another domain is like this. Suppose one domain is like this, means certainly another domain is like this. So one domain is in this direction, means certainly another domain is like this. So how the domains are arranged in antiferromagnetism means equal and exactly equal and opposite. Exactly equal and opposite, the arrangement should be there. So we will come for superficial conclusion for antiferromagnetism. One domain like this, another domain like this, one domain like this, another domain like this. So domains alignment will be like this in antiferromagnetism. Sir. Now ferromagnetism and ferrimagnetism we will see. In ferromagnetism, most of the domains aligned parallelly, aligned parallelly, aligned parallelly we can say. Aligned parallelly we can say here. Parallelly we can say. But why? Because net magnetic moment is having some value, so that most of the domains aligned parallelly we can say. So like this antiferromagnetism, in antiferromagnetism, how the alignment is there, like this will not be there for ferromagnetism, because net magnetic moment has some value. Even in ferri also, net magnetic moment has some value, but it is less than this ferro. So that here net magnetic moment is more, here net magnetic moment is less. Like this we can say. So suppose here alignment is like this, means like this alignment is there, means like this alignment is there, means here how it will be there, means how it will be there, means like this will be there, like this will be there. Okay, so alignments we said in ferro, antiferro, ferri. Now we will take a ferromagnetic substance. Here how the alignment of domains will be there, means irregular we said. Now we will keep this one in the magnetic field, external magnet. We'll keep this one in the external magnet. What will happen now in the sense, all the domains arranged parallelly, all the domains arranged parallelly to the external magnetic field. All the domains in ferromagnetism, all the domains in ferromagnetic substance arranged parallelly in the direction of external magnetic field. Then after some time we will remove this magnet. Then we will see the ferromagnetism. In the ferromagnetism, the domain alignment has not changed at all. When you place in magnetic field, the domains become arranged parallelly in the direction of magnetic field. After the removal of external magnet, domains alignment do not change. That means ferromagnetic substance become what? Ferromagnetic substance became what? Ferromagnetic substance became magnet, shall we say, or just as usual ferromagnetic substance only we will say. What shall we say? In the magnet means you are saying that one pole is north pole, one pole is south pole. So in the magnet, one pole is north, one pole is south, means all the domains should arrange parallelly in the magnet or not? All the domains should be arranged parallelly in the magnet. Then only we can say net magnetic moment in particular direction. Then we can say it is south pole and it is north pole. One is north pole, one is south pole. You are saying, means you are saying net magnetic moment particular direction. So now you say that this ferromagnetic substance, shall we call it as a magnet or we cannot call it as a magnet? How initially ferromagnetic substance was there? In ferromagnetic substance, domains alignment is irregular, but net magnetic moment was there. In ferromagnetic substance, domains alignment is irregular, but net magnetic moment is there. On placing this in magnetic field, external magnetic field, all the domains arranged parallelly in the direction of magnetic field. Then after some time magnet will be removed, external magnet is removed. Then how the alignment of all the domains will be there means parallelly will be there. In the domains alignment, there is no change at all. In the domains alignment, there is no change at all. How it became in the presence of magnet, in the same manner it is there even after removal of magnet. So now you say that now this ferromagnetic substance is as like magnet or it is not like magnet. What shall we say? This ferromagnetic substance has become magnet, shall we say, or it is not magnet? What do you say? Now, shall we say this ferromagnetic substance as magnet or not? This ferromagnetic substance as magnet or not? Sir, that means first we will see what is magnet. That we will see. So first we will see what is magnet. So magnet in the sense, in the magnet we will call North Pole and South Pole. Yes or no? Magnet in the sense we will call North Pole and South Pole. Yes or no? Sir. We will call one is North Pole, one is South Pole, we will call it. So that means direction is there. We will say direction of magnetic field is like this. We will call direction of magnetic field is like this. We will say direction of magnetic field. Sir. Now we will take we will consider atom. We will consider in the atom we will take subatomic particle electron. We will consider. Sir. Now this electron is it charged particle or not? Yes, it is charged particle. It is negatively charged particle. Is it moving continuously or is it rest in the atom? It is moving continuously in the atom. It is moving continuously in the atom. Because it is revolving around the nucleus continuously, it is not taking any rest. So electron is moving around the nucleus continuously in the atom. Moving in the sense mechanical energy. Moving in the sense mechanical energy. Now what is moving? Charge is moving. Electron is moving means charge is moving. Charge is moving means what? Electrical energy. That is only no. What is current? Current is nothing but movement of charge. That's all. Movement of charge in the sense movement of energy. So electron in the atom is moving around the nucleus means that is having what field? Electric field and mechanical field. When these two field is there, what field will be created automatically? Fleming's left hand rule. When these two field is there, automatically which field will be created? What do you say? Now electron is moving around the nucleus. Electron is moving around the nucleus. Electron is moving around the nucleus means it is having electric field as well as mechanical field. It is having electrical field and mechanical field means another field will be created. What is that field? Fleming's left hand rule you take. Fleming's left hand rule means three fingers will be considered. One finger is mechanical, one finger is electrical means another finger for what? If you give two field, third field will be automatically created. What is that third field? Sir, we will consider a thermal power station. We will consider a thermal